Mabuhay, this is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. Today I want to talk about for better or worse in sickness and health. This will be about marriage. I'm married to a woman from the Philippines starting back in 2015, but things like I'll say today would apply to anybody that is married to any woman. So please subscribe here to Love Beyond the Sea. Be prepared to leave a comment on this, probably kind of controversial as I guess marriage has become. But when I got married, I knew it was for better or worse, sickness or in health. And I know when a lot of young people get married, they don't even think about that. They may hear those words before the wedding. They may hear it at the wedding and after the wedding, but they probably don't think that anything's going to go wrong. Worse, what does that mean? Sickness and health, well, that won't happen for decades if it happens at all. However, there's a reason that statement is there. It's because it's about commitment. When you marry somebody, you're committed in sickness or health, better or worse. What comes under sickness and health? Well, the sickness part would be, they could get cancer. They could get into some kind of an accident. They could have some kind of a rare disorder. So I see people in their 20s coming down with some kind of disease or illness. It happens. Look what's happened with the COVID vaccine. People getting sick when they weren't expecting to. Things can happen. You get bit by something and something goes wrong. And it can be life-altering. If you're their spouse, they need to know you have their back in sickness and in health. In health, it's easy. What's the big deal? There's no challenge with that. But when your partner becomes sick or ill or diseased, and you start thinking about, well, how that's going to affect your life, and this isn't fair, and now I'm going to have to do this and that and take care of them and so on. Yes, you do have to do that. That is part of marriage. You don't want to give up on your spouse because they got sick or they got cancer or something like that. And, don't look at it like, now my life is ruined because I got to do this and I didn't plan on it. A lot of life happens that you don't plan on. But when you're married, you got to be committed. Something happens to them the next day, the next week, you're there for them for the rest of their life. I'm not saying you should go into it expecting the worst to happen. However, I do think it's important to be prepared mentally that if the worst thing comes to pass, it's not going to affect you at all. You're still going to be for them in sickness and in health. For better or worse, well, I guess that's a catch-all for everything else that could go wrong. And I won't even list it because there's so many things that could go wrong, and you can use your own imagination or your own experience. But that's part of marriage, two sinners living together. There's going to be difficulties, sparks are going to fly, but you still need to be there in sickness and in health for better or worse. Young people need to know this. Excuse me, and they need to be told by older people, and those older people should be able to say from their own life, well, here's how I have had to put that to use. Here's how I'm modeling that, and you can do the same. I wasn't expecting something to happen, but it did. But you know what? That's just my new call in life, adapting to this new situation with my spouse. And you should know that before you get married. Anything can happen. Bad things can happen, not just the usual disagreements and ways we rub each other the wrong way. That can happen too. I suppose that's part of the worse category. But generally it's saying that no matter what happens, you need to be committed to each other. I try to do that. I try to talk about that here on my channel. And hopefully you can learn from that. I've got 1,800 videos on YouTube. YouTube should start doing better. I'm just not going to put the TikTok watermark on there. I'll upload that for TikTok, and then I'll upload the video to YouTube, and automatically there will be no watermark for TikTok. So I think that's why I've been greatly penalized by YouTube the last 2 months with -3 views or subs, I think. -3 for 2 months is pretty terrible, right? So let's try not having the watermark on there. Maybe more people will watch. Please leave a comment here today if you feel strongly about this like I do, about commitment, maybe how you in your own marriage have been challenged with this idea of being married in sickness and in health, better or worse. Share it here. If you would like. I'm just saying in general, without naming anything particular in my life, because we don't have the time, that whatever comes my way, I have to be ready for that, in sickness or health, and better or worse. I take it seriously, and I hope you will too. And leave a comment here on Love Beyond the Sea.